wanted to challenge one of the biggest myths in entrepreneurship. A business can be profitable, busy, and still never scale. And why is that? Many entrepreneurs proudly say, I've been working. Here's my question. You become the salesperson, the accountant, the marketing person, and the department, customer service, operations. Eventually, you didn't do anything. What would I stop doing today? Very warm welcome here for another podcast of Skillionaires podcast, where stories stick and strategies scale. And this episode, I have something very insightful. If you have ever had an online meeting with me, I have these strategy sessions, the 7 reasons of stagnation. And a lot of people are just asking me, what are these 7 reasons of stagnation? And for that, I'm putting you a link down to this video, and you can find out in my call. For now, I have brought you the 7 reasons of growth traps that keep entrepreneurs small, and you can actually link this directly to the 7 reasons of stagnation. Now, today, I wanted to challenge one of the biggest myths in entrepreneurship. Many people believe that if your business is working, it will naturally grow, but that's simply not true. A business can be profitable, busy, and even well known, and still never scale. And why is that? Because growth doesn't happen automatically. Grow is a decision that you're making, and more importantly, grow requires different thinking at every stage. Today, I want to share the 7 growth traps that I see entrepreneurs fall over and over again. And maybe you enjoyed therefore this single session and to pick a little bit my brain, where I actually support you in your entrepreneurial journey for your success a little bit more here. And I hope I can bring value with my insights to your business. And maybe you'll recognize one of these aspects, and maybe you'll recognize one of them in your business. Growth trap number 1: being busy instead of being productive. Many entrepreneurs proudly say, I've been working all day, 12 hours a day. But here's my question. Did your business actually move anywhere forward in these 12 hours? Or did you simply stay busy by scrolling in YouTube or in social media? Being occupied is not the same thing as creating processes or growth. Every day, ask yourself, therefore, one simple question. What I have done today that will still create value 6 months from now? This is such an important question that you always can answer yourself. And if you answer this with actually nothing, then you're maintaining your business only, not growing it. And grow number 2, we coming here. Grow number 2, trying to do everything yourself. Yeah, I know you are the biggest expert in your business, and I know also that's you who can do everything the best. But at the beginning, that's also normal and right. But later, it is totally dangerous, because you become the salesperson, the accountant, the marketing person, and the department, customer service, operations. Eventually, you didn't do anything, and you just overreacting with everything and spoil it maybe all. You don't own your business anymore. Your business is owning you, and real growth starts at that moment when you stop asking, how can I do this? And you start asking, who can help me to do this better? Growth trap number 3: selling services instead of creating value. And people, they don't buy a coaching. People don't buy only a product. If you wanted to have a very transactional business, then maybe that is something that you coincidentally create every now and then. But your clients actually, they buy the confidence that you have. They don't buy the consulting, really. They buy clarity and they don't buy marketing. They buy the growth that you bring with you. Stop describing what you do. Start communicating the transformation you can create. And that is a big value. And the client will also connect with that on a very much emotional space. And if you are creating emotions between you and your client, that is actually really big growth factor. Coming to the grow trap number 4, building a business without a system. If every customer receives a different experience and you don't have a scalable business, then you have coincidence. With a system, you are actually creating and be freeing basically your possibilities, your talent from coincidence. You have an improvisated success company, not a reinvented. Don't reinvent those processes every Monday. Then instead of, you should build systems that reduce the stress that you have, systems that improve the quality that you wanted to deliver, systems that create consistency. And consistency builds trust. And when you gain trust with your clients, you also gain referrals. You also will gain good testimonials, and that pays forward totally to your business. Doesn't matter in which industry. Grow trap number 5. Avoid difficult decisions. Grow often requires uncomfortable conversations. Letting go of the wrong clients, letting even go of the wrong people in your team, hiring stronger people, changing your prices, increasing your prices often is a very uncomfortable situation. Entering even new markets. Every level of business demands a new level of courage. Did you know? You have to want to receive this kind of success that you are about to create. And that's why your level of courage has to be also something that you constantly keep growing. If you keep making yesterday's decision, you will only keep getting yesterday's result. Grow trap number 6. Ignoring relationships is some of the biggest mistakes that I see here at this very moment, especially in Dubai. A lot of people have relied in this market on fast-paced business transactions. Tourists coming in, tourist exchange for a service, money and time. And you give them your service, your time and your talent. And that is only transactional. But if you are building a relationship, nothing can shake the basics of your business, basically. And if you had built it beforehand of the situation that had struck down some businesses here in Dubai in the last couple of months, then you should know relationship is something you should actually write in capital letters in your business strategy. I had, just to give you an example, shortly my 50th birthday. Now, as a female entrepreneur here in Dubai, even with a strong background out of the beauty industry, you can count. I know every spa and every hairdresser, every nail salon here, every clinic in Dubai. And I have visited so many of them. So many of them has actually written down my date of birth. But none of them built a relationship to actually congratulate for my birthday, for my 50th birthday. They could have easily asked, Miss Thomas, who's making actually your hair on your big day? Are you celebrating? Let's congratulate you the first thing, actually 30 days before your birthday. And with that, you are creating revenue. Let this person come short before their birthday, always in. I would have been so happy about that, but you guess what? Nobody has learned how to build the relationship. So especially in the service market, in the hospitality industry, a lot of people falling down now on a very hard ground because they have not learned how to build a relation. And if you build in your business a different environment that is actually built it with relations, then this is one of the biggest lessons that you could take away to actually scale your business. Business is always built through people. Opportunities come through conversations, partnerships, and recommendations. Only because throughout these tensionable months, I have took all of the partnerships, all of the relationships that I built in the past 6 years here in Dubai out on a consistent base, and I held really good contact. That's why I had so many referrals during this time, and I'm very grateful for that. And I can only say this is very, very rewardable if you put some intention in that. Partnerships, recommendations, and trust bring you forward, especially in the Middle East. Relationships, not only a nice extra, they are one of the greatest business assets you can build here in the Middle East. Your network is not only who you know, it's who you trust and who they trust too. Grow number 7. Thinking too small sometimes is the biggest limitation. Thinking too small sometimes. Yes, that's true. You sometimes thinking too small. I have always a little kind of parameter. If your goals, your projects are not a little bit scary in one point, then they are simply too small. The biggest limitation isn't the market. It's not the economy. It's not your competition. It's your own vision. So ask yourself this. If I had to grow this business 10 times bigger, what would I stop doing today? That single question changed everything in your growth process, because scaling doesn't just begin with the strategy. It begins also with the perspective, with your attitude, with your courage. So what is the biggest lesson from today's episode? I am wondering. And business doesn't stay small because entrepreneurs are lacking of talent. Most businesses are staying small because entrepreneurs keep solving only today's problems instead of building tomorrow's company. Grow isn't a luck. Grow is also not only leadership. Growth is leadership, structure, execution, and all above. Growth is a choice. Thank you for listening to this episode. And I'm wondering, what is your biggest point that you would like to grow at, and what is your blind spot? Write me in the comments, and I'll get back to you with a free Skillionaire call to help you out of your blind spot. So, if today's episode was challenging, maybe also a little bit triggering, that is actually exactly my way, because it's not only about business, it is about you having actually the first step done to the next level of growth. And that's why I am looking forward to support you somehow in keeping your business to build and helping you to learn and never stop growing.